Now we're talking. This is a real good one. All Quiet on the Western Front is a World War I drama directed by Lewis Milestone. It was the first film in history to win both the Best Picture and Best Director awards, something that would become very common in later ceremonies. Lewis Milestone also became the first ever two-time Best Director after winning the award once prior at the very first Academy Awards. The film is very unique for showing the German perspective of the First World War, although, and I think that's the point of the film, it doesn't really make much of a difference. The story is about a bunch of young classmates who enlist in the German army and are sent to the trenches, and we experience the terrible horrors of war right alongside them. This is a great film, one that stands the test of time even to this day, after more than 90 years. It's the first Best Picture winner that I would consider to be a must-see. It has aged extraordinarily well, surprisingly well. I was bewildered at how much this movie affected me. I'm still thinking about it days after watching it. It was that powerful. All Quiet on the Western Front is the textbook anti-war film. It's a harrowing portrayal of the trench warfare that occurred during the First World War. Of course, by the time the film was released, they didn't call it the First World War because the Second World War was still 9 years away. What I really appreciate about this film is that it's incredibly effective without being gratuitous. It's very sad, disturbing, and depressing, and it has some violent scenes in it. But they're not too violent, and they're spread apart by quieter, more light-hearted scenes. It's not an onslaught. It's really well balanced, with the softer scenes making the violent scenes much more horrifying in comparison. You get to spend time with the characters, you get to know them, you relate to them, and you see how the war affects them outside of the battlefield. Tragically, you also get to see them drop like flies one by one. Don't get too attached to them. They shall not grow old. There are some images in this film that are just seared in my brain. One notable example is a scene where French soldiers charge a German trench. The Germans gun them down and we see it through this camera motion. Moments later, we see the German soldiers charge a French trench. And this time the French gun the Germans down and we see it through the exact same camera motion, just in the other direction. It symbolizes how, no matter which side you're on, we're all the same when we stare down the barrel of a machine gun. The scene that sticks the most with me is the ending, and without spoiling it, let's just say that it's one of the most powerfully haunting finales to any movie I've ever seen. I'm really struggling to find bad things to say about this film. The only thing I can think of is that it's not the most pleasant experience, but that's kind of the point. All Quiet on the Western Front is truly something special and more than deserving of the Best Picture award. As for the ranking, All Quiet on the Western Front easily takes the top spot for now. I wonder how long it'll take for another film to surpass it. We'll just have to wait and see. Up next is the fourth Best Picture winner, the first Western to win the award, Cimarron. Check back tomorrow for the next video of DB Review's Oscar Madness Marathon and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss a thing. Thank you all very much, and let the journey continue.